What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James
Shoe.com.
Today we are going to be talking about Mr. Shoe's not feeling that great as he's sipping on this Pedialyte. Today we're going to be talking about Jonah Hill's film MID90s. Now, Shoe, while you sip on that advanced care, the closest thing to an IV you could get outside of a hospital, let me tell you a little bit about MID90s. So Jonah Hill, obviously we all know and love him from his comedies, going back as far as Superbad and the stuff when he really kind of broke on screen with Accepted, all the way up to his newer work, Wolf of Wall Street, work with Martin Scorsese, who advised him on this movie. Not so much on set, but he called Marty and he was like, hey Marty, I'm directing and writing my first picture, what advice can you give me? Marty said, come over, and he had a 4-hour conversation with him. And he was just kind of telling him all the things to do. And if you're gonna
That's
learn,
awesome.
If you're gonna learn from anybody, you know, and it's not like, well, you know, be good, do this, do that, and the phone call. No, it's come over my house, 4 hours, we'll go over the script and we'll go over your movie.
That's awesome.
His 84-minute movie, a very short film. So for 4 years, you know, he's getting about 20 minutes in at a time, it seems like, but obviously a passion project for him, and now he's kind of turning to directing and writing. Overall, going into this, you know, I heard a lot of great things, you know, a lot of praise, even some award buzz, and walking out of it, I don't see it being that acclaimed. Like, I couldn't see this movie necessarily winning any awards, but for sure it marks an arrival, you know. I mean, you have Bradley Cooper a few weeks ago coming out with A Star Is Born, which obviously will be probably an award contender. See yourself at the Oscars. Well, I don't see Jonah being nominated necessarily. I think it does say, like, here I am and I'm here to make some movies, and I'm really, really excited to see what he has next. Now, being a kid in the 90s, and surprisingly enough, having actually friends who did skateboarding stuff and made videos, I think there's a lot to relate here, and I think anyone who loved the 90s and the random combinations that happened in the 90s, you know, I think there's a lot here. If anyone has ever seen Kids, which is a very, very dark and heavy movie about kids in the 90s, it very much feels like that. Take away the really darkness of the plot of Kids, but it feels like that. This movie's letterbox, it's not widescreen. The look of it, it feels like it's a movie from the 90s. You turn that on to someone who really can't tell the difference, I think you could actually fool some people in making them feel that way. The problem
It was
here,
a 90s movie.
yeah, I mean, it really just kind of, it just breathes that whole entire, I mean, the outfits, everything about it just kind of really reeks of the 90s. So on the nostalgia factor alone, I see a lot of people really enjoying it. My theater was actually pretty full though. I mean, a lot of people want to come out and see this movie, because, you know, this is a time when, you know, people amongst my age grew up. We were part of that time frame, and seeing that kind of reflected on like a thing of the past is a bit weird. But the problem is that the movie doesn't really, it doesn't feel like a full movie. It feels like more of like a montage, I guess the best way to put it. So this whole movie is about this young 13-year-old boy who is just kind of having struggles at home, decides to find a new place, and in LA he finds a group of skaters that he feels where he belongs, all of different ages. And the whole movie is kind of about them making this skate video. And it kind of feels like a skate video in the sense that this movie is just kind of a montage of a bunch of different things about days in the life of, but not a full plot. You know, I think what this movie really is going for is that the group of 4 or 5 kids that are in the movie, their relationships feel genuine, and they seem funny, and their interactions are pretty authentic, but it feels very surface. It doesn't feel as deep as it should be. The main character of the movie has a brother who plays this really big catalyst in the movie. He plays this character that, you know, beats up on his brother. He's really violent. He has some tendencies that make him kind of questionable as a character. We never go into that. When the movie actually ended, a lot of people were like, wait, that was it? Because they felt that the movie ended on a really kind of odd note. There's really no resolution. There's really no plot in general. It's more just character-based. And I think that for a movie being character-based, it really kind of lacks on describing or really going in depth with a lot of the characters. Overall, a strong debut nonetheless. A movie that I enjoyed for the nostalgia factor. I think the characters and relationships are very fun to be around, but I don't think it was a movie that made a huge impact on me or like will end up in my top 10 or anything. But definitely we're checking out. Great score, which was donated by lead singer of the 9 Inch Nails, all that. So there's a lot of good stories about this movie, and it's good that it was finally made. And I'm just more excited to see what Jonah Hill has next.
That's exciting for him. Good for
Absolutely.
him.
Mr. James Shue, sick as he was, went and saw Hunter Killer. Endured a 2-hour movie where I just endured 84 minutes. So make sure to see if you'd like that. Click that white eye above. And next week here at AMC Town Square, we have a private theater as always, and we have a bunch of movies coming out. We have Nutcracker on the Four Realms, Beautiful Boy, the Steve Carell drama where Timothy Chalamet plays his son. Then we also have Suspiria, the remake of the 1970s horror movie. We also have Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen biopic, which everyone, well, really the Freddie Mercury biopic, which everyone is really clamoring to see. So make sure to join us here at AMC Town Square for one of those movies, because it's going to be a big week. I think there are even more movies than I'm spacing out right now, but this is the beginning. We are in it now. As you get over this sickness, we are going to be in the award movie season. 5-6 movies a week, I'm sure. It's going to get crazy in the next couple weeks. So make sure to join us here, because it's going to be a good time.
Love it.
I'm good.
ChasingCinema.com is known as
The Film Lovers website.